Things happen to people differently, and it's okay. It's okay.
Hashtag facts.
Yes.
Yes. Sharing our stories, our experiences.
We are able to air our views.
And we are not editing anything. We really want to speak to
The girls.
To the girls.
Hi everyone, welcome to Western Africa Summit. This is Chini Ya Mbuyu Chat 1. We are having a conversation around no hash debunking myths around menstruation. My name is Warendi. I am the Chini Ya Mbuyu podcast host. And with me in the studio, I have two lovely young women who are going to share with us their experiences around period stigma, period shame, and menstrual health. Karibuni sana, ladies. Maybe we can start with sharing your name and what are you most proud of, or what do you love the most about being an African young woman? We can start here.
Okay, my name is Sherry. What I'm most proud of about being an African woman is the diversity and the cultural richness that we have around us. Be anywhere and just have a sense of belonging, because you know what, our culture is so rich with what we do, and it's very unique with each other. Like, my culture cannot be the same as your culture, but it is very rich and enjoyable. It's so fun, by the way, so I love about that. And I'm just excited to see what we have unfolding in the next few years about the African women.
Thank you, Sherry. Over to you.
Okay, my name is Lauren, and as Sherry said, I love the culture. That is like the best thing I've ever experienced being an African woman. And I also love the food that we get as African women. We get to tell stories while we cook, we learn new recipes, and fortunately, I've been able to be friends with other African women, like from other countries. I've also been able to learn their foods, learn how they cook it, and that has made me really culturally rich. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I think for me, I share mine with, I think, both of you, because I love our sisterhood as African women. And you've mentioned around food, you've mentioned around culture. So I love how we use both of those things and then they somehow tie us together. That's the thing that I celebrate the most. Yeah. So moving on, let's get into the discussion. What menstrual hygiene products do you use? Let's start from there.
Okay, I use exclusively pads, but I've tried tampons and it wasn't for me. Yeah, but I use pads.
Why do you prefer pads over everything else?
I prefer pads because those are the ones I've grown up with.
Yeah.
And to me, they're comfortable. Yeah.
It's what we were introduced to, by the way. I remember people used to come to school and show us how to use pads in primary school. So
from primary, high school, uni,
high school as
they
well,
just
uni as
teach
well.
pads. So it's the safe option. Yeah.
What about Sherry?
Yeah, I would also go for pads anytime, any day. But with tampons, I've tried them. I cannot say I did not try them. I tried. So, I get to experience the tampon on the first day and I'm like, guess this is not for me at all. But I'm really open to trying them again. Not like I have closed on all ages. I'm open to trying them again. Also with the menstrual cup, I'm just open to those options, but then not for now. I think maybe if someone influences me a bit, or maybe we can try. Yeah, I can try them. But as you said, we were introduced to pads.
Yeah.
Even when we were kids. So that is what has been in our minds.
That's what we know.
To change that, it's going to take some time, but we are really open, I guess. We are really open to try the tampons, even the menstrual cup.
Yeah.
We are really open to them. So I would go for tampons another day, but I'm still trying not to just close on it at all.
For me, I use a mixture of both tampons and pads. Okay. Just because with tampons, I am not afraid of leaking and having stains. And pads, maybe when I'm sleeping, because I feel like they're really, really comfortable when you're sleeping. And I mean, I just sort of use both of them when I'm on my period. But I would love to use a menstrual cup.
Me too.
Because it's very,
Me too.
it's very eco-friendly one, because you just have to have one and then clean it.
Yeah.
And it's reusable. Like, it's very, I don't know.
Economically, it's perfect,
economically
by the
perfect because
way.
hautatumia pesa mingi.
Yeah,
If you
true.
buy one, that's it
Yeah.
for like a really long time. And then you can then consider other options.
But I also like with how pads, things have really progressed, because now there's the night pad and the day pad. So it covers your bum, the other area really well for the leakage. I really love the progress that you're going. And I'm just looking forward to what progress will be there in the next years. I mean, how will it be with the tampons, the menstrual cup? What will come? And how you're open with it to really trying them. And I would encourage the other girls. You should try the tampons too. Just don't lock yourself.
Yeah.
Try them.
Try it.
Yeah.
Whatever you have at your disposal.
Especially if you know you'll forget.
Yeah.
Just try the tampon and go about your day. You can even forget you have it. That's
By the way,
thing.
on the issue of pads, I've also seen that they are the ones that look like diapers. So that have you seen them?
Me, I
they
haven't.
look really comfy.
I haven't
They look
interacted with
really-
them, but I saw kwa supermarket.
Yeah.
Zico.
Yeah, they're there, but I haven't really interacted with them one-on-one. I don't know how to use them.
I feel like these companies that make pads or tampons they should listen to people more, because
Yeah.
Kitambo there were no those options.
Yeah, they
They
just
had
make
they just
and-
make and they don't care about the consumer experience.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should keep on taking feedback from people and then improve their products and services.
Because the progress
Yeah.
is really great.
So now let's move on to period shame and period poverty, which is a challenge that most adolescent girls and young women face. And then let me ask you, what myths in your communities or in your schools or in the spaces that you are in have you heard or exist around menstruation and menstrual health?
Okay, I'll go first. With me in my community, first of all, because I've interacted more with my community in my beginning years. If I say beginning years, because those are the years where I started my periods, the preteen. So,
Preteen, I'm a teenage, 13, 12,
12,
14.
13, hapo. So
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
beginning days. So there was this myth that, when you're in your periods, don't go out.
Yeah.
Don't interact with boys first, because you know what, you'll get pregnant.
On your period.
Yeah, it was
Well, I don't-
the most...
yeah.
It was the most unsafe days, by the way. And don't let boys know you've started your period.
Yeah.
Because they know.
I don't know by then. I don't
They're
know
the
why. I don't know why it was. We were taught to hide our periods, because I think I don't know if you have the same experience where when you're in school, especially if it was a mixed primary school, you are afraid of people knowing that you're on your period.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
You
that
really
thing.
really hide that. Unaficha hadi pads like ndani ya vitabu. It becomes such a big thing.
It is really a big thing, because in our school there were these NGOs which came to distribute pads, and then they would come, all the girls to the dining room.
Yeah.
Please don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they give you, and then you hide them in your sweaters, in your pockets, and then you go and you sit like this in class. So no boy should know that you're on your periods or you started.
Yeah.
It's really messed up, because the boys, even when they would know, they're like, oh, kumbe, that one is a big one.
Yeah.
And it would really stigmatize you on everything. The music, if you are a performer in music and games, you'd actually be stigmatized from there. And it was really a really unpleasant experience. Very unpleasant. I wouldn't say, but much progress has been done.
I think now that you've mentioned about us being, when in primary school you're pulled away from the boys and taught about how to use pads and menstruation and all that, I think that was the foundation of period shame for me. I mean, of course, with even other parents or other people, but that thing of being pulled away and being told to hush about it, I think that was the beginning of that.
It was.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, it really was.
And even it continues still now.
Forever, yeah. I still have period shame to some extent, but you unlearn.
Yeah, you
And
unlearn.
what I came to realize with period shame, it does not go away instantly, because when they really put it in us at a very young age, so it really takes time for you to unlearn slowly and slowly for you to get there. It does not go off instantly at from this session, that's it. No, you'll still go away, and then you'll find your friend like, hey, when you're still talking about it. We don't do that. And then you're like, okay, let me be in my bubble. And then you want to find another one who can really talk about it, but then by the time you find it, then your levels are like this, you're like this, so it does not really add up.
Yeah. Any myths from you, Lauren?
For me, it was like they put the period to be such a dirty thing. that
Yeah.
you can't even interact with a girl who's on her periods. And even when you see now in this like current generation, some people still practice it. You see the way you go to buy pads, they wrap it in a way like it's
In magazines.
Wanaificha.
Exactly.
Wanaificha huko ndani.
Then they ask you,
and
unataka
it's
zile
just
vitu?
pads.
Tunataka zile vitu. I don't know if when you were young, amata like recently, ukienda kununua pads and then you see it's a guy who's selling kwa your shop. I don't know if you guys have ever left the shop and then you went to another shop that the lady is selling, because I have. Yeah, because I was like, sasa huyu atajua ninanyesha.
Yeah.
As if
It's a
like
bad thing.
half of the population of the world is women.
Yeah.
And almost, like not almost all of them, but most of us menstruate every 28 days or about around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why that's the biggest thing about that. But that thing about menses being dirty is like a big thing. Because even in some churches, like you'd hear that women are not supposed to go to church if you're on your period, because then you make the place of worship dirty. And that's teaching women that their bodies are dirty.
Which is not
true.
Yeah,
it's just a normal bodily function.
Yeah, and one thing that you're forgetting, you guys remember the one time, I don't know if you experienced it, but they were saying if you're on your periods, you're very promiscuous. You guys,
yeah. No, it's because I think they used to associate periods with sex for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, how do any of these myths affect adolescent girls?
It affects adolescent girls in such a way that they cannot be free to speak about their experiences. They cannot speak about what they're going through when they're on their menses. For example, someone can be going through period cramps and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You can't advise them because they don't want to talk to you about it, because they've learned it's dirty. They shouldn't share. And what if that person, it's a child, and she is living with a male who is the guardian? How do you start talking to the girl?
There's no other way.
Yeah.
What about Sherry?
I think for what I've seen is that, when the myths are there and it is so inclined in your head, even on the day on your periods, you won't go to school because, this is a taboo topic to remember. So like, I'm on my periods, I can't come. So you miss 3 days
Of school.
Your periods are totally different. Some have it a bit lighter, some have it a bit heavier. So you miss school, you don't talk to anyone, you just endure the pain. And you know how many 3 days can have an impact on your performance during that time.
Yeah.
And it has really affected the performance of girls such that, there was even when the government was saying boys are really, coming up more than girls, what is happening? Whilst we knew the problem was the period shame, but no one was willing to talk it out loud during those days.
Yeah. I think I'll piggyback on what you've said about girls not going to school because they're on their periods, and it's actually both because of period shame and because of period poverty, because they are afraid of people knowing that they're on their period, and to some extent maybe they don't also have access to the pads or whatever menstrual hygiene products that they use. So now moving on, we've already established the challenge that girls and young women face around accessing menstrual health products and also feeling confident, or the period stigma that comes with that. So let me ask you, what are some innovative solutions that we can use, or that maybe you have in mind, or many ideas that you have about how we can solve these challenges of period shame and period poverty?
The one I have in mind, and I've seen it being prevalent right now, is the media campaigns.
Yeah.
They are really prevalent because, when you spread awareness, and then there are these artistic expressions so that it doesn't become a taboo topic, but, people say you're normalizing.
Yeah.
So you normalize everything about periods and let it be known that it is very okay to experience different types of menstruations, regardless of who you are as a woman. And I've seen even the banner. How many have seen the
Gloria,
for the senator?
Gloria Robert.
Yeah.
It's somewhere here around in Gungong Road. It's
Oh,
somewhere, yeah.
okay,
I've
I've
seen
seen
it,
the one in Upper Hill when you're going to Upper Hill when you're coming. And it's really great that, everyone comes who uses the road.
Yeah.
You see, let's put an end to period shame and period poverty. And I know that topic irks a lot of people, like, why is she saying that loud?
That's
why
a
is
taboo
she
topic.
confident about it? It is really making a progress in, us having conversations, even with the men involved, because
Yeah.
men are primarily involved as much as we are. So even them offering comfort, support to us during those times. I think with this conversations, it has really, created a platform for the men and young women to interact, even young boys. You should know that our sisters, our mothers also go through this, and we should offer them total support, whatever they need, just give it to them.
Yeah. Any from you?
I think involvement from both genders is very important.
Crucial.
Because most men don't know the truth about periods. For example, my brother. Let me use my brother as an example because I had it from him directly. He thought periods just come at once, like urine. Yeah, so it should be taught to everyone, not just women and young girls, but
comprehensively,
everyone, so that people know what girls are going through, how they can help, and just being educated on it.
Yeah. I think where we can start is how we shared that when you were in primary school, they used to pull us apart, boys and girls, and teach girls about menstruation. I feel like it should be like a conversation with both genders, so that at least, since we said that we learned period shame from such a young age, if we start making the conversation sort of involve both girls and boys from that end, because it's mostly, yes, women stigmatize other women, but men also stigmatize women when they're on their period. So if we start the conversation from there, then we are able to sort of remove or work on removing that period stigma or period shame. Now on to period poverty. An innovative idea that I have is, I think the government of Kenya should provide sanitary towels or menstrual hygiene products to all girls going to school, especially in marginalized areas, because first of all, poverty and lack of education are some of the leading causes of period poverty. And I think marginalized areas are the ones that are hardly hit. Even poverty in town, like urban poverty, those are some of the hardly most hit people. So I feel like such provisions by the government would really, really come in handy to reducing the incidences of period poverty in Kenya.
That is true. And also, if the government, if they cannot do that, then remove the taxes on period products. Just remove them and make it affordable for everyone. Because, in as much as people are really out here to help, it's a monthly thing. Others take 3 days, others a week.
Yeah.
When people come and distribute pads, like 3 packets, someone can use those 3 packets in 1 month, another person can use them in 2 months.
Yeah.
Then what is the rest of the month? What is she going to use for the rest of the month?
Yeah.
So it's really a dilemma when you're giving out a person the period products, and then you leave them at that. I think the government, in as much as it would reduce remove the tax, put in subsidies, they should find innovative ways to support the women. Support the women and the girls. Maybe do it, I don't know how they will do it, but then economically empower them, because if it's about poverty, we're talking about the economy of our country. So empower them economically, give them, when you're in those days and you feel very uncomfortable, and then your health deteriorates, like you're supposed to eat some fruits, and just give food, make it available for all girls.
For me, I think that we should start, the government, these organizations should start making girls learn how to use the other affordable menstrual hygiene products, like the menstrual cups, and there's also the new one that I had, they're called grace pads.
Those
Those
grace
ones
cup.
there's a grace cup,
and then there's grace pads.
I think there's a reusable
Oh,
one.
the reusable pads.
Yeah,
Yes,
the reusable
yes,
one.
yes.
They should start teaching the girls how to use them so that they can use those when they can't get access to pads.
That is true. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you're talking about reusable pads, they should give water. Water
Yeah,
is a big
where water is a
problem,
big problem,
girls.
yeah,
Water is a big problem, and you're supposed to shower like twice
Yeah.
the least. So everything is just working against us if we are to talk. I mean, also with us and the NGOs that are there, let's introduce some policies that will actually favor the girls. Let's
Now
put
that you've
policies
mentioned
there.
policy making, and we've mentioned civil society actors that you would like to teach girls how to use maybe sustainable menstrual hygiene products, and we've mentioned the government, maybe very quickly share how we can hold them accountable, because it's one thing when the government promises, but then what do we do to make sure that they deliver on their promises?
I think we should have collaborative efforts to hold them accountable. If we are going to have to hold them accountable, let's collaborate in our efforts. The NGOs, the social nini that you've said, the activists involved. Let's hold them accountable. Tell them this is working and this is not working. Evidence based with data from the girls. This is working and this is not working. Let's shout, let's talk about it. Let it be a call to action, an urgent call to action. Let us make them uncomfortable that they hear us and they act upon it.
Any from you, Lauren?
I think we should also do that. It is very important to do like research, like going through, like after you've done the proposal, you can do your research and then you present it to them so that they can know that this is working and this is not working, so that they can support us more as we support ourselves going on forward.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation and I've learned a lot from you guys. And I hope that the audience that's watching at home has also sort of resonated with some of the things we've said, or maybe they've learned a thing or two. And, to engage with us further, or with this conversation further, please engage with us on the chat. Maybe share what innovative solutions or ideas you have around ending period shame and period poverty. Asanteni sana.
Chini Ya Mbuyu.